A great guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit over the past couple days. Bruce Jenner, welcome to the Rusty Humphrey Show. How are you?
I can't believe it. I have made it. I've done so many interviews in my life, but this is probably the most exciting one I've ever done.
Oh, now you're just putting it
on the air with Rusty.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All the time.
Why?
That is the question.
It is a question.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's interesting.
I am of conservative values. I believe in limited government. I believe in the Constitution. I'm kind of devastated what's going on to our country, mainly because I have 10 children and I'm worried about their future. And so, I carpool. My last car, I had 4 years and I had 170,000 miles on it. So I spend a lot of time on the radio. And I love your show. I think you have great reason. I like you come from the conservative side. I think you explain yourself very well, and I enjoy listening to the show.
Well, I appreciate it. I wasn't asking that for a bunch of ego strokes, although I appreciate it. What I was, I'm sure it will. I'll get a couple of boxes of Wheaties.
You're in LA, and you're going to have to pay.
Oh man! The last time I was, down there, I was at dinner with your daughter Khloe and your son Rob, two great kids. And I was at this steak restaurant, and all I know is I wasn't paying much attention to the waitress, and she said something about a $16 steak, and I went, yeah, whatever. She goes, well, what size would you like? And I go, 10 ounces. Great. And I found out it was $16 an ounce.
Right.
That was a $160 steak. So I won't be buying dinner in L.A. anytime soon.
Did who? I know you didn't pick up the tab. Come on, Rusty.
I couldn't have picked up the tab.
Pick up the tab.
I pick up the tab. Of course I do. I didn't
actually,
that night.
Robert, when I heard, Robert said he's going to dinner tonight, and he says, a guy named Rusty Humphreys is going to be there. And I said, God, Rusty, tell him I love Rusty. Yeah, and so that's how this kind of came about.
Well, I sure appreciate that. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Tonight we had the Well, the President of the United States came out and gave a big speech in front of a joint session of Congress. Did you watch it by chance?
Oh, of course I did.
Okay. And, I look at a guy like you, and, nobody handed you a gold medal. You were a guy that you wanted to be a football player, right?
Yeah, I went to college. Actually, I went to college to play football. And, but I ran track in high school. I played basketball in high school, competitively water skied in high school, one of my high school years. Yeah, it wasn't until my sophomore year in college that I ran my first decathlon, because I had always done a lot of different track and field events. I actually from Connecticut, and I won the state championship in the high jump and in the pole vault in 2 events. So, I just like track and field. Anyway, got involved with it that way, yeah.
And, well, didn't you get hurt? You had a knee injury that made you stop playing football?
I absolutely did. Graceland College versus Tarkio College at about the 40-yard line. A guy hit my knee, tore it up, had to have knee surgery, and I thought that was the end of the athletic career. I thought it was over with. Lo and behold, 8 years later, won the games.
The reason I bring this up is because you obviously have natural ability. God gave you a gift. I could never run the speeds that you run. I could, as much as I try, I could never do it.
Right.
But you could have quit then. You could have done something else. Yeah. And yet you decided to persevere and work hard and make it work. And yet we have a president now that's basically saying, you really can't do it without the government. You really need us to help you, because there's a lot of losers out there.
You know what? I remember just recently watching John F. Kennedy. We're talking about going to the moon, and the president is going. In this decade, we're going to go to the moon, not because it's simple, but because it's difficult. And just like it motivated me. I'm sitting there going, yeah. And 4.5 million Americans who are in technology started getting behind this movement to go to the moon. And it inspired me, And I'm thinking, now we got a president who demonizes people who are hardworking, energetic, want to take risks, want to build this country. And they're demonized for it. They're either going to be taxed heavily. He even said in the speech tonight, taxes are going up on, once we're going to get these George Bush tax cuts and, get rid of those things. And it's just like, wait a second. That's what America was not built on that. It's Ronald Reagan saying, my job is to get out of your way. I believe in the people of this country. And the only people that are going, and the only thing that's going to get us out of this recession and get our country moving again is the people. Not Barack Obama, It's just, it amazes me, the different mindset of today. It's all these 60s radicals that are, oh, God. I hate to say it.
A great guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit over the past couple days. Bruce Jenner. Although one of the problems I think we have today is, you went and you earned your self-esteem. It took you some time. You went and earned it.
Yeah.
Today, everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody gets an award. Everybody, and is that not part of the problem?
I agree. There's nothing wrong with not doing well at some point in something. You learn from that. You learn that I've got to work harder, I've got to be better, I got to be smarter, and I got to come back the next time and do something, do something better. And I got to see improvement, or I got to change fields and try something else, which is not, that's okay. Try something else. It may not be in sports. You may get your butt kicked in sports, but I may be a great mathematician. I may be a great writer. I may be a great actor. Tom Cruise, dyslexic, a great actor. Cher, dyslexic, great entertainer. So you got to find your niche in life, and you got to. That's like kind of like your job is to find that little niche. But you got to work for it. That's the fun.
Okay.
That's what makes America. This is the only country in the world that we can do that. I don't want to lose it.
And that's where I'm with you, and that's why I wanted to have you on tonight, because that's kind of what I feel they're trying to take away, is that you don't have to work for it, you don't have to earn it, it should be given to you by Barack Obama.
Yeah, and it's not what's made our country great. My dad fought in World War II, landed Omaha Beach, tough hombre. Went all the way through the war, got 2 Purple Hearts, a great American. He went out and fought for his country. And he's buried at Arlington National Cemetery, in Washington, D.C. And, I normally don't, I keep my political things silent. But because with 10 children and looking at their future, I can't stay silent anymore. I gave a speech to the Florida Young Republicans last month. I got another speech for the Republican Party coming up in a couple of weeks. I can't be silent. I got to get out there. I got to do my part. So I don't want to apologize to my kids. Say, guys, sorry about you being taxed at 70%. I didn't do anything.
Is that going to ruin your TV show, coming out and being a conservative?
No. Hey, there's more conservatives out there than there are liberals.
In Hollywood?
We have, as you were talking earlier, we talked on the phone before the interview, there's a little underground group, but that's, honestly, it doesn't make any difference. My wife's the executive producer of the show. Her and Ryan Seacrest.
Mm-hmm. Who, by the way, was my intern when I was in Atlanta.
What's that?
Ryan Seacrest was my intern when we were in Atlanta.
Get
He used to go get me Diet Cokes.
Get out of here.
Yeah, won't return my calls now, but yeah, back in the day.
Well, I'm going to return your phone calls.
Please do. Let me ask you one more, and then I'm going to let you go. Keeping up with the Kardashians, a lot of people think that reality TV shows are part of what's ruining our culture. Your daughters have been in the news for some not so good things. Why should somebody watch the show?
To be honest with you, they have, from my own conservative values, it shows what happens when you send your kids off to Miami and you're not there to oversee what's going on. I can't really speak for their show, the Miami show, because it is a little edgier. Okay, but for our show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it's kind of a modern-day Cosby show. It's about a family. You got me, the conservative guy, okay? We've got these girls that are kind of out there in pop culture, and how do you handle those types of things? As a parent, I have so many people come up to me and always ask me, I was watching the show, and the only reason I watch it is I just want to see how you react to it, And I give my conservative views and how I feel about it. And my wife does. She's a little bit more, kind of off the wall. But they almost fear when I have to come into the room and talk to people because, you got to do things right,
Bruce Jenner, I'm out of time. What an honor. Will you come back on the show again soon?
Yeah, I'll come back. Next time Barack's on, I'll come back.